What's going on, all you cool YouTubers? Farley here. No, not really Farley, it's just me. But I'm going to sit in the whole video like this, and this will be my impression. I'm terrible at that shit, so this is the best you can get. This is for Farley's contest that he's running for 500 subscribers. Congrats on that. You're going to get many more, man. You're a funny guy. I enjoy your videos. He collects a whole bunch of stuff, not just, music. He does Laserdisc and VHS and Star Wars parts and Star Wars stuff. He collects random stuff as well. So check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. Anyway, Farley, this was a mess. It took me literally a month to narrow this down, and I still couldn't do it because there's so many smaller bands that I like. Like an idiot. So many smaller bands that I like that I love the vocals, the guitarists, but I mean, it's still hard to beat the mainstream guys that we all really know. So I'm just going to start with I got this all over the table, so you got to bear with me and my list. I'm just going to start with the bass players first. And this is my opinion. I don't really care if you guys agree or not, but for me, when I think of... Let me fix my beard. For me, when I think of bass players, these guys come to mind. They may not be the most musicality, but as a bass player, that's who I think of. And some have, are more talented than just playing bass. And no order, just top 5 that I had to pick out of 20. And the hardest part for me was guitarist and vocalist. That was really hard to do. I literally have vocalists in my top 5 that you're not going to believe that aren't in. Well, I guess no, but you're gonna, whatever. That's what you're going to get. I'm rambling here because this beer is making me breathe heavy. Anyway, first one is Jeff Pilson. He has that plays in a lot of bands, but mainly known for Dokken. Dokken Lynch. Pilson Lynch had an album out, a couple albums, I think. I can't remember. But Jeff Pilson's one of my bass players. I'm using mainly CDs. It's just easier to use. My second bass player is Billy Sheehan. Long list. Dale Lee Roth, Talus, Mr. Big. He's got a new band out. I can't think of the name of it right now. But incredible bass player. Does some crazy shit on bass. Been around forever and a day. So Billy Sheehan's my second. Let's save that for last. Third is Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue, 6 a.m. Not the best player overall, not even close, but when I think of a bass player for my kind of music, he comes to mind. So, and that's what I base it off of, who I think of first. But that's third. Fourth is Jeff Pilson, by the way, also is a really good singer. Last on my bass list is Blackie Lawless. Again, not the most phenomenal bass player, but it's who I think of. Great vocalist. He's not, something you stores. And he's just got a memorable voice, I guess is the word I'm thinking of. That was 4. And fifth is a double, so you're going to get 2 out of this. First, obviously, it's going to be Cliff Burton, Metallica. You can really hear the influence by him throughout the first, 3 albums. And I'm also adding Jason Newsted in, because Jason Newsted was a monster. Although they mixed him out of most of the albums, overall, he is a monster. You couldn't have a better replacement in that band than Jason, and they really beat him out of that band. It's a shame. Alright, next we'll go with top 5 guitarists. Well, I do have a number 1 here, but obviously if you see my channel name, you know what that is before I even say. But I'm just going to go with Rats Warren DeMartini. He is very underrated in my opinion. So he has such great groove riffs, man. Every album, even the ones that are shittier, if you listen just to him play his guitar, just amazing. I always think of him when somebody says guitarist. It's just hard not to. Where we at now? Guitarist. All right. My next guitarist is a band from guy from Lily X called Stevie Blaze. If you've never heard of these guys, give them a listen and listen to the guitarist. They're kind of in the hair metal era, but as they, the original singer left a little while ago, and they did a couple albums without them. The music got really strange. No, you can't even call it anywhere near hair metal, but it's really interesting just hearing him playing. They got a different singer, sound similar to him, and then they got another singer, but it's been a mess since that singer left. So that's my second vocalist, correct? I'm sorry, guitarist. I don't know where the hell I am right now. Yeah, okay, Martini. Obviously, George Lynch, Dokken fame. I'm just trying to use different stuff. But this is his debut album with Michael Sweet from Stryper and George Lynch. Pretty good album. It's really good. They got a new one coming out, and it sounds like it's going to be even better. I already heard a couple songs off of that. That would be my third guitarist. No, yeah, it's my third guitarist. One you guys may go, what the hell? But John Norum, most of you guys would know him from Europe. Fantastic guitar player. He's very Bach rock, like Malmsteen and stuff like that. Key Marcello. They come out of that Bach rock sound, but amazing blues player too. His solo albums started to get, the hair metal. You can see the transformation from the hair metal to the bluesier side. His stuff is hard to find on CD, and the two albums after are hard to find on vinyl, period. And lastly, my number one guitarist, period. Although he's a douchebag, I actually got a story about this. I'm not really good at stories, but Andy's contest from Andy's Vinyl Den, I got a story about meeting him in '86. That's pretty funny. Anyway, Yngwie Malmsteen, or Yngwie, however you guys say it, Malmsteen. I say Yngwie Malmsteen. Amazing guitar player. The very first time I heard Black Star, it was like another level of, like when I first heard Judas Priest. It was just, wow. And I know a lot of people don't like the egotistical stuff, and I don't either. I generally, after the episode with him, I just buy the music for the music, and that's all I care about, because, I got stories and not very good. But my favorite guitarist, I won't be a dickhead and, just throw it to the side because he was a dickhead, I think that was it, right? No, one more. Mr. Paul Gilbert from Mr. Big. Racer X, he does a lot of solo stuff, and he's another one that's just crazy, goes all over the place. Started out heavy metal with Racer X. Mr. Big, kind of more poppy, but very amazing guitar work. There's a song on here, I can't remember the name of the song on here, but Billy Sheehan and Paul Gilbert wrote the damn song, and they wanted to play it live, and they had trouble actually playing it again, which was pretty funny. But Paul Gilbert's another phenomenal guitarist. He's very quirky, but killer. If you've never heard of stuff with Racer X or solo stuff, you can look him up on YouTube, because he does a lot of shit on YouTube. I mean, he's an astronaut, uniforms with he wears the earmuffs now because of his hearing. But it's just funky shit, man. But it's all fantastic. And that's number 5 for my top 5 vocalists. And I'm getting lost up in this stitch. This beer's making me crazy. I don't know how you deal with this. Next is vocalist. This was probably the hardest one for me, because I'm a huge fan of female vocalists too. And but most of these are going to be basic, and then I'm going to throw in one and probably loop you, and then one I couldn't separate these girls. They had to be put in here. I was going to separate top 5 male, female, which would have been fair, but I just did it the other way around. So obviously, my other favorite band is, if you know me by now, my favorite band is Dokken. So Don Dokken is my favorite vocalist. Now, he's not spectacular. It just rings with me. It's original. When I hear it, I know it's him. I don't care if he's playing with Herman's in German, or his solo stuff, or his mellow solo stuff like he did on the CD Solitary. I mean, I know his voice as soon as I hear it. Secondly, oh wait, oh, put that over there. I mean, Rob Halford. There's no way he doesn't make anybody's top 5, unless you're just into like the black metal, you know, that kind of stuff. But Rob Halford is a metal god. Number 2 and number 3, of course, what follows that? Ronnie James Dio. These two have to be in your list if you're primarily, you know, metal hard rock fan. All right, and last for the males, I got 2 females I'm throwing in, and I'm throwing. This is kind of a double too because you guys are missing out. Is Jeff Tate of Queensryche. One of my all-time favorite bands as well. It might even be my second, third. I mean, I love those guys too. But with that saying, Todd LaTorre, the guy that they took over the Queensryche spot, sounds just like Jeff Tate when he was younger. If you guys are dishing this, and you know how I am about vocalists being put into a band, this guy is an amazing vocalist. He also was a singer for Crimson Glory after, oh crap, the singer died. He sung for Crimson Glory. That's how high he gets. He sounds like a young Jeff Tate. So if you guys aren't listening to this, you're making a mistake. And you know how I am about changing singers. And then that's my 5. But I'm going to add 2 more in. Female singers, my 2 favorite. I hate these digipacks. They get so jacked. Forget. Alright. And I always say her name wrong. I was trying to look for it, but I don't have time for that. The band is Within Temptation, and the singer is Sharon Den Adele, I think it said. Angel voice, beautiful voice, can get a little lower, has a great high pitch, symphonic sounding band. They call it Gothic, but it's not, it's symphonic sounding. These came out, this is before Evanescence. Amy Lee of Evanescence, this is her inspiration. And another one, this is a newer band, and her name is Jennifer Haben, and the band's called Beyond the Black. Another voice of God. I mean, her voice is so smooth, and the music's heavy, and there's a little bit of male, harsh voice behind it here and there. Even the ballads, if you just listen to her sing, is incredible. There's a video on, what the hell is the song called? Songs of Love and Death. Video on YouTube, you look up Jennifer Haben, Haben. The song's called Love Me Forever. It's just her playing the piano. If that doesn't make your hair raise on your arm, I don't know what does. Look, it's doing it to me now, and I'm just talking about it. Every time I watch that, I'm just blown away. Yeah, I'm a metalhead, but I like, good piano and vocals. So that's my 6-7 top vocalist. Now next is define 5 albums or genres. 5 albums that define you, I think it is. But mine are kind of different genres because I listen to everything from Poison to Death Angel to Smokey Robinson, although he won't make this. So my 5 are going to be not completely different, but different. Anyway, I'm going to start with Dokken, the more hair metal, since it's my favorite band, more hair metal, style, hard rock. Now we're going to move on to Christian metal, hair metal, Striper. I do like Christian metal. I am a Christian. I'm not one of the Bible-thumping Christians, but I believe in God. I don't do church and all that crap. I'm not going to sit here and praise, but I believe in God, and I like Christian metal, and this is one of my favorite bands as well. Next is a heavy metal band, Judas Priest. Judas Priest has such a kickstart in my life when it comes to heavy music, you know, hard rock, hard rock, metal. I mean, these guys literally started off for me, so this should fall under my 5 books or movies because this is sentimental to me. Every time I listen to any Judas Priest. Next is, and you know, that's heavy metal, would be the genre. Next, I would say King Diamond. This is Abigail too. King Diamond. You know, it's got more of that satanic vibe to it. Oh, well, he is a Satanist, you know. So darker heavy metal. So it'll be a kind of a different genre. It's the same as heavy metal. And then finally, thrash. I would say would be my 5th versus the death metal. So that would be my top 5 genres of records that define me. I don't know, guys, move this stuff out of my way. Rest is all talking shit anyway. Alright, I have the book, but I don't have it. Everything's downstairs and I'm not digging it out for that stuff. Anyway, the other one was... I'm sweating underneath this thing. It's a paper towel, a black marker. 5 rock stars who have died that you would like to meet. Stevie Ray Vaughan. I love Stevie Ray Vaughan. Actually, he should have made my top 5 guitarists, and I didn't even think about that. So that's why it's so damn hard. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Guys playing, I don't know what it is. It just moves me. My next would be Janis Joplin. I love Janis's voice, man. Not the best. It just fits. It's got its own unique thing, like Ozzy, you know. I'm not a big... I love Ozzy. He's just not a top vocalist for me. Johnny Cash. Just cool, you know, fuck you kind of guy, and fuck the establishment kind of guy. So yeah, and Ronnie James Dio, of course. I've never got to see him live, and I'm so pissed off about that. I had the chance, and I didn't go, and I regret that. And finally, this is going to be odd, but Beethoven. The original fucking rock star. This guy caused riots. This guy got the crowd moving. If you read anything about him, you'll know he was the original rock star. So everything I read about him is funny, and I just wanted to pop in my head and one of the people I want to meet. Alright, now for the final question, I'm just rambling like a mother here today. And this was not an easy contest where people say it was easy. It was not easy for me. It literally took me a month. Now, I'm more of a movie person, and I'm not more of a sentimental person when it comes to things. So I don't watch... I'm a horror movie fan, so I watch 99% horror movies unless I'm forced to watch something else, which one of these I will admit to here. As for book, the best book I've ever read was called Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer. I do not like her. I do not like her. I deal with years of depression, bad depression, and this is one of the books that helped me mentally get through it, so... that's probably the most sentimental, you know, meaningful thing to me, book-wise. I don't read a lot anymore. Everything I read is sports, you know, music, politics, and history. It's my things. I'm not a big reader. Now, my movies, you said laugh or cry, whatever. My movies, I'm a horror movie fan, so I want to go with that because they excite me. They don't scare me. I'm just kind of numb to that all anymore. But back then, all these movies, I was younger, so they did then. The first one is called Evil Dead. Loved the first movie. I didn't like the campiness of 2 and Army of Darkness. They were good on their own, but it just killed killed it for me after that. But the first one is my all-time favorite horror movie still. And Jaws. Jaws is a great movie. I mean, it's you know, it gets you going. You're worried about the people dying, you know, the family, the kids in the boat. So it's more than just a horror movie. The Exorcist, again, one of the classics. And that's one of the movies that still creep me out to this day a little bit. I love the demonic, satanic shit, you know, the haunting stuff. And So I love that crap. So that's also one of my favorite movies. And finally, I want to admit to this, because I was made to watch this movie. I give in every once in a while, you know, let her pick a movie, and the movie she picked was The Notebook. Now, again, I'm a horror movie fan, and 99% of the movies I watch are horror. 0.9 probably comedy, and then there's that 0.1 that I got to watch. I have to watch other stuff or just randomly watch it. But there's a movie called The Notebook. And I sat there, you know, oh, I don't want to watch this, and, you know, in typical guy form. And I sat there and watched it, and I got into it. I got into the love story part of it, and it was very sad. And there's a story within the story. You know, the people are older and they're telling the story. I don't want to give away anything in case you guys get made to watch it too. But towards the end, you know, they break up and things change, and they, you know, marry different people. And I can't remember fully, but all I remember is the last 30 minutes of the movie just freaking destroying me emotionally. It was the craziest thing. And they beat you down. They give you one hard hit, and then they hard hit you again at the end. So that would be my final pick for, you know, movies that make you emotional. And again, you know, it was a good movie. I'll admit to that. And it made you feel things you don't want to feel as a dude. So I thought it was a good movie in the end. Now, a couple of the other ones she's made me watch would suck. I mean, literally. Anyway, that's my, whatever the hell this thing's called, 5. I will put the proper title in my description, and I'll put the link to Farley. Farley, you rock. I love your channel. Like I said, you're one of the first 4 that I locked onto. Scott Waters, it was you, it was DJ Legion, Andy's Vinyl Den, Mr. Hall of Fame actually too. Yeah, there's a couple of you bigger guys that, you know, I hit Scott Waters, and then everybody else, you know, the bigger subscribed people lined up, and I just kept watching and watching. And again, you guys are the reason I got into getting on YouTube, because I hate doing this, whether you know it or not. I'm the guy that hides from every camera when we're out. That's me. And even my wife's like, what the fuck? You're doing YouTube? Anyway, y'all have a good day, and Farley out.